Welcome to another edition of IEM ranking list. Today we're finally tackling the budget realm of under $50. Now I have 19 IEMs for you today. Yes, only 19, because surprisingly there's not that many good options out there under $50 because of the recent free releases. It killed off so many competitions. So we're at the point in the industry where the $50 and under bracket is being changed quite dramatically. The competition is so fierce now to the point where so many sets just gets deleted, axed out of the market because the newer sets that came out made them all irrelevant, so to say. So today, that's why I only have 19 IEMs here for you guys. Most of these are relevant still on the market, and some of them are just related to the relevant products, something that you guys might be interested in hearing my thoughts on. So let's just jump right into it, and this list is going to be ranked by performance only. Price is not a consideration. You guys have requested that, so here we go. So I'm gonna start off with the classics first, right? And no better one to begin with than the Blonde BL03. Yes, the #1 most recommended Sci-Fi IEM for the longest time. Also broke into the international market as well, as it is extremely popular even in America. So yeah, Blonde 03. Ah man, back then it would have been an easy B or A tier maybe 2 years ago, but nowadays, man, does it still deserve B for me? I don't know. I'm gonna put it in C for now because I can think of quite a few things that are better than the Blonde 03 nowadays. So just C for Blonde 03 for now. We can always switch things around later on if we feel that, you know, it deserves better after we finish the ranking list here. So yeah, C tier for Blonde 03 for now. Warm signature, still pleasant, around $30, so not bad. Build quality and accessories are questionable. I don't really like the cable so much. The fit is kind of weird, but yeah, overall, nice tonality, easy to listen to, versatile, C tier. Next one, let's go with another classic. We have the Tin T2. Yes, Tin T2. Where should I put the Tin T2? Tin T2 is one of those IEMs that plays vocals well. It has a warm tinge to it, has good upper mid-range energy, has a bass roll-off. That's why not a lot of people are a fan of it, because the bass is just not there for most people's library, and I can understand that. The treble extension is fine, and for $50, that kind of tuning used to be so good. Nowadays, maybe C as well. I'm gonna put it next to the Blonde 03. Just the two classics right there. Besides the Tin T2, there's also the Tin T2 Plus that runs around $50 as well. Now this one is slightly bit better than the Tin T2. I feel like the mid-range is more correct. It has a warm tinge to it still, but more well done than a Tin T2. Also, I feel like it has more details than the original T2 as well. So I'm gonna put this one at B tier, a grade higher than the original T2. Now let's move on to the two Moondrop older IEMs. We have the Ssr and Ssp. Now the Ssr I don't like at all. It's too shouty and it's just imbalanced altogether. It's not easy to listen to. This one was always a D for me. Like, I just don't like it. Now the Ssp, on the other hand, this blue one right here, this one is better, has more bass, so it sounds more balanced, but still a little too strong there and too forward in the upper mids. I would put this one at C tier though, but the lowest of the C tier, below Tin T2 and below Blonde 03. And next we have another old one, the Heart Mirror, the HC Sound Heart Mirror. This is the original version. There is a pro version that is out now. I'll link that below. I ordered one, I have one coming in, so I hope that one's a big improvement over this one. This is tuned with vocal in mind, so a vocal and a treble focus set, really nicely done here. One of the cult favorite amongst the cheapy community. I tried it and I really like it myself. I'm gonna put this one, I'm gonna put this one in C tier though. Despite how much I love it, I still understand that it needs more bass for some people. It needs to be more balanced, but all in all, it's the type of IEM that I'd really like because it's doing something special and it's doing that special thing really well. It's standing out from the market as opposed to having like the same tuning as everyone else just to be a good IEM, right? So it's doing something special, it's taking risks, and it works. So for me, I'm gonna put it above the Blonde 03 just because of that. It's special and still under $50. There's still nothing like it. Now the next IEM does something similar to the heart mirror, being that it also focuses on the upper mids and the treble region. A female vocal focus set, say that 5 times fast. That's a tongue twister. But yeah, a female vocal focus set, just like the heart mirror. It's not as special sounding though, but technically better with better details and just an overall smoother signature. This one is the Tanzjim Ola. Now the Ola for me easily fits in B. It would be A if it has more sub bass to balance out the signature or any kind of bass in general. But yeah, at least a B. It does the vocal focus signature really well and has an upgrade in overall detail over the rest of what you see at C tier. Alright, so next one, let's move on to another Tanzjim. Now that we're on to Tanzjim, we have the Tanya. Now the Tanya here is really a V-shaped IEM, super warm. The signature is overall mainstream, it's easy to like, but it does nothing special and is plagued with a lot of little problems. The mid-range is really not my favorite. The details as well, not quite there. So this one lands in C for me. I would say above the SSP though, above the SSP, because I still don't really like the SSP all too much. But yeah, C tier for the Tanya. Now, let's talk about the other Tanzjim IEM, the Zero. Yes, this one I haven't talked about much on the channel, but I feel like it is the weakest of all the 3 Zeros that came out. The Truthears Zero, the 7Hz Zero. This one is the weakest one. It has a similar signature or similar philosophy to the Ola and the heart mirror, where it's trying to be a more vocal focused set, but this one comes across thin for me, and the soundstage is very squeezed. It is cheap, yes, I'll give it that, but other sets in this price can do better than this. So this one for me lands in C. I would say it's still better than Tanya. Actually, I don't know anymore. Maybe it's around the same grade as Tanya. I'm gonna put it above the Tanya though, but just know that they're around similar quality. Next, let's move on to Moondrop, one of their older ones first. This one is the Quirks. Quirks, $13. This one is tuned similar to the Tanya, but much less V. So still has a lot of bass, still has the warmth, still has the vocal focus kind of upper mid. So it can come across potentially thin for you. For me, I never found it to be like that. But yeah, it is a better Tanya. I think that's the best way to put it. So I'm gonna put it above the Zero, above the Tanya right here in C tier. Same little problems with the Tanya, but tuned better and half the price. Now, before we get into the big boys, I know you guys are super excited to hear about all these other ones right here. Let's talk about the FIO first. This one, the FIO JD3. Now the JD3 for me is actually a nicely done V-shape. It is outcompeted by another IEM that we'll talk about later on. Overall, it is a well done V-shape IEM that's focusing more on the mid bass. It is similar tuned to the Tanya and the Quirks, but I'm finding a lot less to fault with the JD3 as opposed to the Tanya and the Quirks. Detail level also I think is a little bit better than the Tanya and the Quirks as well. Build quality, you guys know FIO. FIO has really good build quality, and all in all, under $20. I like this set quite a bit. So I'm gonna put it above the Quirks, above the Zero. I don't think it's T2 level, but it sits at the right there, between the T2 and the Quirks. The next set I want to talk about, I actually don't have a picture on here. I don't know where it went, but it is the CCA-CRA. Just imagine this picture on the tier list. It is gonna be in A tier. Yes, it's the first ever A tier. I don't see it on my screen right now, but you guys do because I edited in the photo. But yeah, A tier is a V-shaped tuned IEM. It is a competitor to the JD3. It has less mid bass than the JD3, but the rest is much better. The mid range is more correct. The treble area is more correct as well. The detail performance is also on par, if not better, than every C tier set that you see in this video right now. So yes, CCA-CRA, A tier. But now you might ask, what about the CCA-CRA Plus? How about the Plus version? It's almost double the price. It must be better, right? No, I find the treble too annoying. Just the tonal balance of it is a little bit off in comparison to the original one. The original one was near perfect balance wise for a V-shape IEM, surprisingly, for $15. But the CRA Plus, this guy, same level of details for me, but is tuned not so great, and it's one that I don't ever feel like grabbing. I would say it is still better than the JD3 because of detail performance, but the tuning, I don't know where to put this. I'm gonna put it above the JD3 just for the fact it has better details, but that's about it. Tuning wise, I still prefer the JD3. Now we get into what everyone has been waiting for, is the top of the list. Yes, the A and S tiers. Yeah, all of these are A and S tier, spoiler alert, but let's go through them and let me explain why they are placed where they're at. Let's start off with the Moondrop shoe. This one is easily S tier. Like a few months ago. A few months ago, this would be S tier, but no longer. There are other sets now that I feel like edges it out just slightly or just enough to push this down to A tier. Still fantastic tuning. I prefer this tuning over the other sets because I do like more treble, and this one has that. The biggest issue with this one is mainly in the bass section. It needs more bass in general, and all in all, the treble, although I like it personally, a lot of people feel like it's too metallic for them. A tier IEM, $20, great value, tuned really well, and just for context, I prefer the tuning of the Chew over the Aria, which is however much money more. Detail not the same as the Aria, of course, but tuning wise, the Chew is more correct to me and much more pleasant sounding. Now, the set that pushed the Chew down to A tier is this one right here. This is the 7Hz Zero. Now this is S tier. It fixes the metallic timbre and treble of the Chew, adding more bass as well, while not messing with the mid-range. The mid-range is just as beautiful and as correct as the Chew with the additional fixes that I just told you guys about. S tier, $20, same price as the Chew. If you're looking for a set that is just super budget, but you want the highest quality possible, this is number one right now. Pretty much no competition. Unless you want more treble, then you would go for the Chew. But yes, the 7Hz here right now is the top of the heap. Next one here, we have the Tripowin Mele. The Tripowin Mele, I would say, is an IEM for bass heads, for bass lovers, someone who wants a more laid back signature, someone who wants an IEM for super long listening sessions, warm, bassy, loungy type of IEM. It has a similar tuning to the Blonde 03, but better because the upper mids of the Mele is more even and comes across more correct than the Blonde 03, while keeping everything you love about the Blonde as well. Build quality is also much better, cable quality is much better, the look, the fit, everything is just an upgrade over the Blonde 03. And if you're a bass lover, like I said again, this is the set for you. It has mid bass, it has sub bass, it's just a good set all around. The only people I would suggest not to get this is if you're a treble head and you need some brightness, some energy to your music. If you listen to a lot of female vocals, this one might not be the set for you, but if you listen to a lot of like hip hop, rap, EDM, then this one might just be the best fit for you. So A tier for this. I would say below the Chew because I still feel like the Chew has more of a balanced tuning than the Mele, but the Mele has a niche that it fits really well, and if you fit that niche, the Mele is for you. Next, let's talk about another Tripowin, the Leia. Now the Leia for me sounds very similar to the Moondrop Aria type of tuning, which is a good tuning, has a warm tinge as well, correct upper mid range. For me, it just lacks a little bit overall in the treble area and the detail performance, but the tuning is so well done here that I don't feel like putting it in B tier. If it is in B tier, then it would be right here, the top of B or the low of A. I can't decide now. I mean, I guess there's too many A tier. I don't know. Should I put it in A, low A? Nah, I'm gonna downgrade it. B plus for now, the highest of B, just because I feel like there's too many A tiers here. All right, but yeah, it is super solid performer right here. If you want the Aria style of tuning, but much cheaper and a downgrade in overall detail quality, then the Leia is for you. It is like less than half the price of the aria. You can buy 3 Leia for 1 aria, so the value there is insane. Next we have the last Ssr right here, the Truthears X Crinacle 0. This one has a Harman tuning, which is not going to be the cup of tea for everyone, but if you love the clean tuning, if you love the sub-bass focus tuning with a lot of upper mid-range energy, so vocals, female vocals especially, are going to come across really lively. The treble extension on this one is good as well. The 2 problems I have with this on a personal level is that it doesn't have enough mid-bass for me, and the soundstage is a little bit cramped. $50 though, I can't really complain too much. The tuning is really well done, arguably the most correct tuning because it does follow the Harman target really well. Me personally, not my favorite target, but I know a lot of people love it. This one is in... Ah man, it's tough. It's tough. It's tough. S tier, A tier, S tier, A tier. I'm gonna put it in... S, why not? It's better tuned than the shoe. It has same level of details to the shoe. So yeah, S tier, why not? The 2 S tier right now are occupied by the zeros right there. 7Hz 0, Truthears X Crinacle 0. If you want a more balanced set with everything that you need, mid-bass, sub-bass, good vocals, good treble, then you would go for the 7Hz 0. But if you want the cleanest tuning with the most amount of sub-bass rumble, still beautiful mid-range, especially for female vocals, and good treble, then you would go for the Truthears 0 instead. And the last one right here I tried at the festival this weekend is the Canera Celeste Gumiho. Now this one, take it with a grain of salt because I have not done the review for it. I've not gotten the unit in hand at my house. I tried it at the event, but I feel like I have enough feel for it to know at least where it places in the overall ranking list, right? So number 1, it is already better than the B, the C, and the D tier IEM. Is A or S potential. Well tuned, good levels of details for the price. When I tried it at the event, I remember thinking I have really nothing bad to say about it. Maybe the mid-range is not as natural as it can be because it is a V-shape, but that's, you know, that's just the V-shape tuning. Maybe the treble can be a little bit more smooth, but it's $50, and for $50 under that context, I have so little to complain about this while I was testing it. So it is A tier for me, but I'm not gonna put it anywhere above the Mele or the shoe just yet because I want to review it first. But for now, just know that it is at least A tier, if not potentially S tier for under $50. Alright, that is it for this tier list video. Thank you guys so much for watching. And if you guys want to try this yourself, I'll leave a link to this tier list in the description below. You guys can make one, screen capture it, and post it on the Discord if you want to, or my Facebook group. Share your results. I'd love to see them. And with that being said, thank you again for watching. Subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out. Bye. 一緒に